These individuals bring a wealth of knowledge, experience, and insight from diverse fields, and they will be evaluating our team's creativity, innovation, feasibility, and impact. Let us warmly welcome our judges.
We are honored to have Mr. Shao Campbell, who is presently the ELA Teachers of Middle School. Mr. Shao has extensive experience in business management and sales leadership. Having held senior roles, including sales manager and divisional manager, he has managed large-scale projects across industry, including construction, telecoms, and technical skills. His expertise lies in leadership, strategy execution, and driving measurable business success.
Next, we have Wee Walamuksik, or Pimach, is an alumnus of our institution who has built a successful career as a market researcher at one of the leading universities in Bangkok. He also works as a teaching assistant in Chulalongkorn University. We are delighted to have him again with us today.
Our third judge, Natapat Panklang, or Pi Pan, is also a proud alumnus who is currently working as a choreographer, dance instructor for dance studios involving Thai and international artists. His experience and achievements continue to inspire many of our students.
Our fourth judge, Tawatulun Penpat, or Pifu, is also a proud alumnus who is currently working as the head of business relations and partnerships at KRNL Labs, Thailand. He has done his major in software engineering from KMITL, Lagabang. We welcome you again.
Our fifth judge, Nongnapat Hangmani, or Pi Ubip, is also a proud alumnus who is currently working in an audit accounting firm as a consulting analyst. She has done her major in accounting from Thammasat University. We are delighted to have her here with us today.
Now, for our last judge, P. Natal Plevisara, or P. Plankton, is also an alumnus who is currently working as an editorial staff and independent journalist at the Asia Cable. He has done his major in international business with specialization in financial governance from Musashino University, Tokyo. We welcome you again. Before we continue with the program, let us continue by inviting God's presence into this gathering. May I request Gilbert to say the opening prayer.
Can everyone stand up? Thank you. Shh. Please bow down your head and let's pray. Dear God, we ask you for your guidance and wisdom upon all the participants as they present their ideas and innovation. Grant them confidence, clarity of thought, and the courage to share their creativity. May their efforts reflect not only the knowledge and skill, but also integrity and passion. We entrust this event into your hands. May everything we do today bring honor to you. In your holy name we pray. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you for the prayers, Gilbert.
Now, before we begin the final presentations, let me serve a reminder that the presentation maximum time is 8 minutes, while the Q&A is at 5 minutes. Now, I have my timekeeper here, Jung, who will be keeping the time for us. So at the 5-minute mark, she will raise her hand to remind the contestants, and at the 8-minute mark, she will once again raise her hand, and I will also be saying that the presentation is over.
I would like to invite Team Baby Shark to the stage. Please welcome them with a round of applause.
Hello? Hello? Mic test.
There you go.
Every day, tons of food are being wasted.
Most of it ends up in landfills, harming the environment.
What if we turn it into something useful?
Introducing SharkBite, a smart solution to reduce food waste.
A machine that transforms food waste management from ordinary chore into a fun and engaging experience, while converting food waste to composter for farmers.
I'm Suhabi.
I'm Lukchup.
I'm Maddie.
I'm Avantika.
And I'm Sumin.
And we are Baby Shark.
Let's go. Go on.
You can step.
So here's a quick overview of our presentation. I'll give you guys some time to read it over. Okay, so what actually inspired us to make this project? A research from United Nations Environment Program, we learned that 1.3 billion tons of food are wasted per year, contributing to increase of global temperature by methane emissions. And we learned that this global problem can be solved by our solutions starting from our own school. So we have 3 objectives. First, identify solutions to reduce food waste. Second, ensure food resources and make food efficiency. Third, change student behavior by showing how small acts like reducing food waste can actually impact environment.
Now, this is our project prototype. As you can see here, it consists of 2 parts. SharkBite is basically an automatic machine that turns reducing food waste into a game. There are 2 parts to this. The first part is the point system, and the second part is the composting mechanism, which will turn your food waste into compost. So you all might be wondering, how does this exactly work? So say you're done with your lunch. You go to our machine, SharkBite. We have a paper. You put the paper onto the trapdoor. We will have this trapdoor, which is inspired by, the front gate where you tap your ID card and then you can come in. This works the same as that, but when you tap your ID card, your food waste will go into the temporary bin. You put this paper onto the trapdoor, you pour the waste onto the machine will then calculate how many grams it is. The less waste that you produce, the more points that you earn. The more points that you have, rewards you will get. It will calculate the waste, and then you will tap your ID card, which will open the trapdoor, and then the waste will go into the temporary bin. And then sensors control moisture and temperature. There will be blenders. The blenders will break the waste into smaller pieces. And after 24 hours, the compost is collected, and we will sell them to the farmers. So how does the point mechanism work? Think that less waste equals more points. More points is that you'll get more rewards. Our rewards consist of food discounts and etc. So after every month, we will calculate the leaderboard for the top 15 students on each section who receive food discounts.
Okay, so as Luke Chip says, our project focuses on reducing food waste by making this smart mechanism. And I'll be telling you guys the items that we'll be using in this mechanism, which are the Arduino Uno, the PN532 NFC, a load cell, a power relay, a DC motor, and LCD screens. Can you move on to the next slide? All right. There's a diagram above there that I'll be telling how this mechanism is going to work by combining all those items. So the Arduino Uno is going to receive information from the sensor and decide what to do, such as opening the turnstile. And when the user detects the card or scans the card, the PN532 NFC will detect and send information to the Arduino. And for the mini turnstile, it acts as a control for the food waste. And keep in mind that we want our turnstile to be able to measure weight, so we come up with the idea to actually put a load cell, which is a weight sensor, onto the turnstile. And lastly, the LCD screen. The LCD screen will provide information to the user about the card detected, the total weight, the points earned, and the total points on the card. Our system encourages people to reduce food waste by rewarding them with points based on the food they compose.
Okay, so how does composting actually work? Well, it's simple. Compost machines use electrical motors to speed up the process of natural decomposition. By combining heat aeration, and grinding, the food waste converts to a compost in less than a day or in 24 hours. Now, what is the process? Well, the process starts with grinding and shredding the food waste into smaller pieces. Next up, heating and dehydration, which is the most crucial step. Heating and dehydration removes excess water from the food waste so that it can turn into compost much more quicker. Next, aeration. Aeration increases the airflow so that food waste can be broken down into smaller pieces. Last but not the least, odor control. Odor control ensures that the process will stay clean and manageable. So now we are going to be taking a look at the key main components of our machine. Firstly, we have the ID card detector, which reads information on your ID card to keep track of the amount of points. Next up, moisture sensor, which detects the amount of moisture in your food. Keep note, if your food has too much moisture, compost will take a longer time to form. Next, hot air pump. Hot air pump pumps hot air into the machine so that food can be broken down into smaller pieces and also so that excess moisture can be removed. Next, steam outlet. Steam outlet is the space where steam can be removed through the machine. This is important because if we don't use this, our machine can be overheated and may eventually burst. Next, CO2 filter. CO2 is one of the most powerful greenhouse gases, and it contributes to the greenhouse effect. So we decided to use this filter to convert CO2 into a gas which is less toxic and much more safer for the environment. Last but not the least, the tray. The tray collects all the compost in a specific area so that it'll be much more quicker and cleaner to remove the composts.
Okay, so next I'll be talking about our cooperation with TKK Fertilizer. TKK is one of the leading fertilizer companies in Thailand. So their main goal is to turn organic waste, like food waste, into high quality fertilizers. They can also process food waste on site and convert it into compost within 24 hours, making it more fast and efficient. And then they also have a high quality output, Pythagon free and fertilizer. They have like a fertilizer there that's not harmful because it does not have Pythagon, and then pathogen. And then we have like scalable partnership creates a seamless waste to wealth system. And this actually connects to our project because like TKK, SharkBite also converts waste food into high quality, into a useful compost. But furthermore, we turn this into a more interactive way by introducing a game system that encourages students to participate with our project. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you guys have one. Thank you, Team Baby Shark, for your insightful creation. Arduino Uno is pretty hard, and that's such a well thought out plan. Now, I would like to begin with the Q&A session, so I would like to pass it on to the judges, please.
Morning, well done, that was nice. I have a few questions for you. Before we break it down specifically to your presentation, what is the cause of the food waste? Is it, what are the factors? Student behavior? Because changing behavior is very difficult. Is it poor forecasting from the school? Is it overproduction? What is the main cause of the food waste?
It's the students not fully finishing their food, and it causes them to waste more food. So that's
Okay,
what
now you mentioned, if I got it right, that the less waste you have, the more points you get. Okay.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, what is to stop me as a student, because we have to change student behavior, what is to stop me from having a little plastic bag, putting most of my waste in a plastic bag, then giving you just enough waste so I can have the most points?
So what we're planning to do is that we're planning to keep a few people on lookout for others who are planning to do that deed, right? So we're gonna have some supervisors, some teachers who are gonna stay in the cafeteria and make sure that no one has any plastic bags or finds any hidden way to throw away their food.
Great, I'm glad you mentioned that. Now, how does this impact the factors of production? What is the cost going to be? Because you're bringing in more and more and more cost factors into this environmental solution. How would you make more money? Because the more things you implement, the higher the cost. You mentioned 1,500 baht for electricity. For what is that? Because dehydration costs a lot of money. How would an investor
So-
make money?
Basically, the compost that we make, like I mentioned, our cooperation with TKK Fertilizer, we can sell it to them because they also make fertilizer and compost. I feel like those type of corporations and other businesses, we can sell it to them because it's reusable and it can be sold.
Last question. How long until you break even? What is your projection to break even? Me as an investor, I would like to invest money into your project because we're going to scale it, right? How long until I break even, until we make some money back?
Okay, so our machine is going to range from 25,000 baht to 50,000 baht depending on the materials we used and the amount of waste that is being produced. As I did some research, 750,000 grams of food is wasted every selling month, and 200,000 grams of compost is being made. So if we're selling the amount of compost to the farmers, we're going to have a profit of 4,000 baht per month, which is going to be 48,000 baht per year. So if we say that our machine costs 30,000 baht, it'll take less than a year for you to earn your money back. Thank you, guys.
I want to ask about the implementation plan. So how would you implement this so that it will be sustainable in, for example, 2, 3, or 5 years, 10 years in the future? Because you guys won't be here in the future, right? How would you keep this plan going?
So we were thinking after we're gone, we're going to give this machine to other people in this school, right? Because we're going to implement this in this school, right? So we're going to give this to the other people that are coming, and they will be able to manage it. We'll tell them how to manage it.
And we're also making it like very sustainable, which is like using aluminiums like matter to keep it like ongoing for years.
How about the reward or incentive system? You're talking about like a digital system, right?
Yeah.
That means there are maintenance and management costs which comes with this. So how would you maintain that when you guys are not here?
Probably like give some instructions to people who are left here like about the coding system and everything. That's one way we can do.
Okay, thank you.
Hi. Yeah, just a question from my side. I like your presentation and I like how you brought up your technical architect diagram, how you brought up the Arduino. As a software engineer myself, I was surprised to see you present it up a little bit and about the circuit as well. I really like about that part, but I want to ask you some questions to fill up the gap of my missing. I see in the first slide you were telling about the UN program. Is that correct? What motivates you to do on that research and how deep you go through? Can you walk me through step by step about it? What motivates you to use that program and how will you adopt the policy into this RS cafeteria? Thank you.
So basically, I was going through researches and we actually came up to this conversation of this guy wanting to make a mini version door knock that can detect the ID card. So we came up with a plan to actually like You know the turnstile that is in the front gate, that when you detect the ID card, it slides open? We came up with an idea to make a mini version of it. So we go through researches and we found a website that actually teaches us how to make it. But there are also some gaps there because we are not an engineer ourselves, but we put main parts to it and how it works.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Baby Shark, for the insightful presentation, as well as the judges for the amazing questions. Now, I would like to move on to the next team. May I introduce Burger Cheese?
Middle. Go there and walk in. Walk in and say it. What is that smell, bro? It smells so bad.
Did you know that's the smell of the food waste? Food waste causes about 58% of harmful gases in the US. So today, our team, Burger Cheese, will be presenting a solution, the biogas converter. I am Tigger.
I'm Book.
I'm Mac. And I'm Calvin. I'm Mac. So we'll start with the overview. We will be demonstrating how our team designed a system that reduces food waste and converts that food waste into beneficial resources. Okay, so our priority, like I said, to reduce food waste from our school cafeteria and convert that into usable electrical energy. So some inspirations that we took are natural gas power plants, home composters, and biofuel production.
And here is our overview and our design. We will go in detail one by one. Next slide. Here's the first part, which is the anaerobic digester. We're gonna put our wasted food into the input, then there will be a grinder that will break down the food. After that, the container will be sealed, then it will mix all the waste material together. Repeat this process every day, allowing the bacteria to decompose. The biogas will be produced through anaerobic digestion and will be captured in the dome.
Now, let's look at how we handle the gas once it is produced. There's a methane sensor in the dome, as you can see on the picture on the left, to detect whether the level of methane is high enough for the biogas to be pumped into the pipeline. But before it goes into the container, it passes through a condensation trap to make sure that all the moisture from the gas is removed and that it's dry and safe for the system. Moving on to the sulfur filter, that's a valve located between the container and the filter that can be turned on or off to control the gas flow. Inside the sulfur filter, as you can see in the picture on the right, iron oxide balls. As the gas passes through them, they will react with the hydrogen sulfide, trapping the sulfur. This step is important because removing the sulfur makes the gas less corrosive, making it safe for our system.
Okay, so the next machine in this system is the water scrubber. This removes the carbon dioxide present in the biogas Since carbon dioxide is easily dissolved in water, it will get dissolved and washed with the water inside the water scrubber. Methane, on the other hand, will be able to easily pass through and move on to the next part of the system. The water that has carbon dioxide dissolved in it can then be disposed of as wastewater. Okay, and the last part is the micro gas turbine. This is what actually converts the biogas into electricity. How it works is biogas gets pumped in with compressed air, and a combustor inside ignites the gas. This causes the gas to expand, allowing the turbine to spin, which spins a motor generating electricity. We went with this design over a traditional gas generator since it produces less emissions, has less noise pollution, and is also require less maintenance. But even if it produces very little emissions, any emissions that is produced will be fed back into the water scrubber to be dissolved again in the water and This system requires very little maintenance, as I said, with the only two parts requiring maintenance being the micro gas turbine and the sulfur filter. The sulfur filter needs its filter to be replaced every 6 to 12 months, depending on the sulfur levels inside the system. The anaerobic digester also has to be emptied every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how full it is, and the emptied content can be used as fertilizer.
And here is our budget. Our overall cost to build this machine gonna cost around 320,000 baht, including all the machines we have set so far, with the maintenance fees of 10,000 baht and the piping system. However, this does not include the building costs and the chemical supplies. Furthermore, the amount of the money we saved actually depends on how much of the food we waste. Let's say in here we have two scenarios. The first one is 55 kilograms of food wasted in one day. Multiply that number by 0.4, which is the amount of biogas that is produced from 1 kilogram of the wasted material. Then, after you get that number, multiply it by 65% to get the methane only. That's the main part here. After you get the methane, multiply that by 10 to get the amount of kilowatt you're actually using. Converting that to Thai baht, which is 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 4 Thai baht to get that number. Overall, it would save our money around 108,000 baht in the low scenario. In a higher range, it would save at most of around 500,000. On average, it's gonna save around 250,000 baht in a year.
So, looking at our project timeline, it would take around 8 to 10 months to complete, assuming everything goes well. First, we'll start with the planning of the system, which would take around 2 months. This phase also includes getting certification from OSHA and SGS. Then we'll move on to purchasing and shipping of the component, which will take around 3 to 4 months. Then building and assembling the system will take place for 2 to 3 months. And last, testing of the system, which will take around one month.
Okay, so we'll move on to the pros and cons. Firstly, let's start with the pros. It has very little to no emission, as well as very low noise pollution, so it's not going to be that loud. And it saves the school money in the long run, and scalable as each component of the system can be removed or replaced depending on the school. Now, the cons. We have a high starting cost, as well as requires free space. System is complicated, and it requires lots of safety since gas is combustible, as well as electricity is very dependent on how much food waste is produced for the students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great presentation from A burger cheese, thank you very much. Now I would like to ask the judges to form questions within the 5-minute framework. With the 5-minute framework, sorry.
Well done, guys. That's a nice idea. I'm going to structure all the questions together so that I don't waste your time. Firstly, the cost. The cost of the machine, you mentioned not factoring in the cost of building, right?
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned a timeline of up to 10 months. Building the machine takes up to 10 months.
Yes.
So now you have labor for 10 months. Human labor. Not just one person, but many people in order to build this machine, including highly qualified people, engineers, etc. How does that impact the cost? Number one. Number two, that ties into the question is, how does maintenance affect the cost? You mentioned the filter, I think is 10 or 20,000 baht a filter. You mentioned also changing of filters or whatever every 2 weeks. That's not factored into your cost. That pushes the price up completely and then drops the value far below the 250K mark in a year of money saved. You are now running at a very, very large loss. So as an investor, I'm looking at a return on investment of up to 4 years before I even see a break even if the project is successful. How would you get me to invest?
Well, first, on the maintenance, I would like to say the maintenance is actually not that much. There's only 2 parts that need to be maintained, which is the filter and the micro gas turbine. Assuming that nothing goes wrong and everything goes right, it shouldn't cost more than 30,000 baht per year to maintain the system. And secondly, on the labor, yes, the labor might be expensive, but in Thailand, labor is actually a lot cheaper than in a lot of other places. So we actually think that overall it should pay itself off within a reasonable time period. And I think this is a very good system to invest in because electricity price may go up in the future. Right now, like when we calculated this, we are using 4 baht per 1 kilowatt of energy, but who knows what could happen? Like with all the instability in the world right now, energy prices might go up. And with this being a renewable source of energy, I think it's worth investing even if it takes a long time to gain the money back.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. Okay, so a few points here. First, can you run me through the process of this sulfur filter thing again?
Okay, so how it works is the biogas passes through oxide pellets, which is present inside the sulfur filter. The sulfur actually reacts with the iron oxide pellets and gets captured in the pellets. This is why the filter has to be replaced every 6 to 12 months.
So since, if I remember correctly, the sulfur filter, this filter in particular, is a scientific or industrial equipment, so it's going to be very costly. That's the point that many of our judge panel has discussed about your price feasibility. I also want to ask a little bit more about this, you obtaining this sulfur filter, because I believe it must go through some kind of government agency or departments because it's an industrial equipment. Do you have thoughts on the cost that would incur from the certification, the request, the incurring government agency fee? Do you know which department you had to go to for that?
As the sulfur filter isn't actually that big, I don't think it qualifies for being an industrial equipment. It's actually a relatively small filter that you can buy on the internet pretty easily, as we've researched.
So I can buy on Shopee?
Yes.
I can buy sulfur filter on Shopee?
A smaller one, yes, you can.
Okay, got it. Yeah, since this project is going to be very big, do you know which government agency that you would have to consult with? Because this is a very big, I've seen your model, how it looks really big to be put in a school.
It's actually not that big. If you go back to the model, wait. Okay, so the person standing next to the model, as you can see, is 170 centimeters. That's how tall the model is. It's not too tall, and if you bend pipes, you can actually fit it in a relatively small area. I would say less than this space that we have here presenting.
Okay, thank you.
Time is up. Thank you very much to Burger Cheese for your presentation.
Next, I would like to invite Team Pajanas to the stage. Please welcome them with a round of applause.
We need 3. Can we have mics? Can you stand like this?
Good morning, judges, teachers, and fellow students. My name is Jessie.
I'm Jenna. I'm Proud.
And I'm JN. And together we are Team Pajanas. So let me start you off with a question. Have you ever thrown away food not because it was bad, but because you just simply didn't need it anymore? Now imagine that happening 100 times a day in just one school. Every day, large amounts of food are being wasted in school. But the problem isn't just food. The problem is that please, I'm sorry. Let me restart that again. The problem is that it's not just about food, it's about So, let me start off by saying that we created a project called Food Loops. And this project, it mostly contains, it doesn't really focus on food waste alone. It focuses on waste it all. Can I start again? Our goal is not only to reduce waste in school cafeterias, but also understand and better benefit from situations to create a cycle of healthy, disposable, and food waste. Now we focus on 4 main objectives. First, reduce cafeteria waste. Second, promote sustainability awareness to people within the school. Third, support communities. And fourth, lastly, generate eco-friendly resources. So, what are the inspiration behind this? So basically, in our school, huge amounts are being wasted. Huge amounts of foods are being wasted. And as this is also happening, environmental concerns are rapidly happening as well. More produce. More waste, more pollution, fewer sustainable solution. So this is where we create food loops. Food loop system is basically where we separate waste into 4 different sustainable paths. This isn't just about, no, we have divided it into 4 sections: oil, solid waste, leftover food, and liquid waste. So now let's talk you through how this system works.
The food loop system not only focuses on the 4 different types of waste, but we also found out we can make it into 4 different types of new opportunities. The first one is solid waste. Through that solid waste, we will put it into a composting machine, which is the HUS system we have up there, and that will efficiently turn it into fertilizer. And that fertilizer can either be used within the school or it can be sold through various websites, such as the tradewheel.com. We want to find solutions, many solutions for many different outcomes for many different types of waste. So we move on to our second one, which is the liquid waste. And that will be through a filter, and it will be treatable, which then we can use for reusing for gardening or cleaning or other purposes. But it is not safe for consumption. This we will be able to reduce the liquid waste to about 60 liters per day or 1,200 liters per month. Third is our oil waste. Instead of being improperly disposed of, it can be sent to trusted companies such as the Bangkok Corporation, which they will then turn into sustainable aviation fuel. And especially now in Thailand, where oil and the fuel are a major concern, we want to become part of the solution rather than part of the problem. Because some gas stations right now are running out of fuel, especially like the ones in Minburi. And for this, we can reduce pollution while also gaining approximately 5,000 baht per month. And lastly, leftover edible foods. These are the safe foods that we see on counters that haven't been sold and being thrown away. So instead of that, we came up with the idea to store them properly and hygienically and then get sent to trusted organizations such as the Scholars of Substance. They will then give them to communities in need, and through this system, we can get about 1,000 meals per day. How can we make this possible? So our system follows 5 simple elements. The first one is simple infrastructure, like labeling sorting stations. Second is active student participations, like campaigns, or simple instructions they can also follow along with. Third is strong school support. So with strong school support, there will be staff that will also be helping. And the fourth is reliable external parties and partnerships, such as the ones we mentioned earlier, which was the Scholars of Substance. And the fifth one, last one, arguably the most important, which is the daily operations, which is something that we want to make a habit out of. So together, this food loop system makes it reliable and easy to sustain in everyday school life.
Our impact doesn't only stop at school level. It actually goes all the way to SDGs, or the UN Sustainable Development Guide, which also includes 2, zero hunger, 6, water and sanitation, 7, 12, disposable and consumer income. So why us? We're not only an idea, but we're a system that's both efficient and could be applied right now. So impact, our impact is for everything, includes cleaner environments, safe resources.
Now, thank you, Pajanas, for your wonderful presentation. Again, let's give another round of applause for their courage. Again, I would now like to invite the judges to ask some questions regarding our Pajanas, and may the audience please stay seated in silence.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to give some of the compliment on the PowerPoint. So as a market research, so I mean this PowerPoint is quite organized and everything is in line by like the boxes, like not too much on wordy and the use of colors and everything. So yeah, I want to give comment on this, and also the brand logos, Pajanas. I think this one is very important. I mean, in terms of branding, because when you have the brand logo and everything, like the investor or the people who listen to your PowerPoint, they actually know what is your branding. Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, I would want to give a compliment to the part where you link to the SDGs. So those are the milestones that could be done possibly, but might be a little bit more touch to it, maybe elaborate more on like how each of the SDGs connects to the part, but I know like about the time management and stuff. So the suggestions for improvement so would be like more of like the time management on which part is more, we should be prioritized more. But I would also like to compliment on how you guys coming back from the first phase. So it's an accident, so that's completely fine. So don't think much about it. But also, I would like to compliment on the part where you identify each waste for like the water waste, the oil waste, and you also identify the parties involved in each process. So that is quite clear. And also about the part of like the PowerPoint that Mac mentioned, it's quite very clear for like the audience to go along and listen to you guys while watching the PowerPoint and still understand like each concepts or the process you are going to give us through. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm not going to take too much. I've got a few questions, but I'm just going to ask like one. The cost. We didn't get to the cost in here, but you mentioned 3 different machines, which is 3 completely different operating structures, which again is human behavior. So my question is twofold. How would you influence human behavior? Because you mentioned sorting. How would I as a student decide to sort my rubbish into different sections when we can't get it right with trash right now? And what would the cost be of implementing 3 different systems? And then you've got ethical concerns with donating leftover food. How would you tackle all these things?
So for the container, we will be separating it into 2 parts, which is oil, and the other part would be solid and liquid, and then oil and leftover food, which is untouched, which is still sellable, no, not sellable, sorry, which is donatable and edible, and we could donate it to charity. This is gonna be our budget, which everything combined would be 250,000 Thai baht. Could you repeat the other question, please?
For donating food, there are ethical concerns. Once food leaves a restaurant or a table, it is now secondhand. You can't just take it back. Whether it's sealed or not sealed doesn't matter. Restaurants struggle with this every day. How are you going to get over the ethical concerns of someone eating secondhand food?
For the solid food, the one that's like absolutely not edible, we would be using it for fertilizer, like Jenna said. But the part where we can't sell it, like there's leftovers, there's this one charity that Jenna mentioned, which is, where is it? which is SOS. They specialize in keeping leftover food, and they would reheat and remake the whole meal all over again for people who are in need. And they make sure like it's safe and FDA approved and everything. For the student behavior, we were planning to make a club which would gather funds and volunteers, so students could learn about the charities and how much waste is really wasted every single day, which they could gain new information, and through this club, they could gain more knowledge, more experience, and everything else.
And we want students to be more aware of the food waste problem, and we want to create a circular cycle or a system that food waste can be like a cycle to a school to everyone. Yeah.
Actually,
Time is up. Thank you so much to Team Pajanas, and as well as the judges for the amazing question. Now next, I would like to invite the next team, our very own seniors, the Minions. Now, as a reminder, please stay silent during the presentations.
Hello.
Good morning, esteemed investors, fellow students, and teachers. We're honored to be taking a part of this hackathon. My name is Ruth.
My name is Jessica. My name is Annie.
And together we are the
Minions.
And you know what? I like to start by mentioning the fact that it took me 17 steps to get to this stage. While each step and each seconds that it took me, there's somewhere in the world where the food is being wasted. And the food is being wasted. And
it's unavoidable.
Yeah. It's unavoidable. It could even happen in our school cafeteria right now.
Yes, exactly. So we have an unshocking amount of number with approximately 444,000 tons of food being wasted. And if you don't know the scope of that amount, oh wait, hold on. The scope of the amount, 1 ton could feed about 70 people for a whole week. So we could be feeding a whole household, like multiple households, with this amount of food we're wasting. So while trying to come up with a solution, the church group chat that I am in asked us, the members, if we could pre-order our lunch for our next Sunday gathering. And that gave us the idea, what if we created a platform where we could maximize the benefits of that idea?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you. The new, in the market, the new meal pre-ordering app, Enterplate. We target organizations, schools, and companies. And let's start now and plate your meals with Enterplate. So the next slide, we showcase our app icon, a sample of it, and our logo that we are planning to advertise it with.
And we realize that food waste is a huge problem, but that doesn't mean that the solution has to be complicated. So we come up with 3 simple solutions, the 3 C's. First, cut,
cover, control.
So let's start with the first C, cut. At its core, what we're trying to do is minimize the food waste before it even happens. So Enterplate focuses on tackling the problem as early as possible by allowing the students to pre-order their meals. This way, their organizations will be able to know how much to prepare food on like the actual demand. So we'll cut the guessing, we'll cut the overproduction, and also cut the waste ultimately.
But minimizing the waste alone is not enough. So we need to ensure that students are also included in the system. So our Enterplate has a variety of app features that, such as portion size selection, add-ons, date selection, and easy cancellation, but based on a specific time period. And we ensure inclusivity by providing a web browser that every school organization and all the students are able to access. So if a student may not have a device of their own to download the app, they can use it through online in the school campus. They can do that.
Yes. So the most important aspect of any app, especially one that is targeting schools, is how secure it is for the people that are using it. So our app offers a one-step authentication where users will input the designated email and password, where they will be able to check if the person logging in is authorized. Another important aspect is how easily manageable the app is, especially for staff who are not familiar with apps. So the staff will be able to easily input and update meal options. They will be able to easily keep track of the meals that are coming in, and they'll be able to easily set a cancellation period if needed. So we will move on to a prototype app showcase. When you first enter the app, or the web browser if you want, it will lead to this homepage. When you click on that, it will show a sign-in or a login screen where users will be inputting their designated email and password as mentioned. When they log in, users will be shown pre-order or cancel page, but staff will be shown a different staff account. When users want to cancel, it will show a cancellation screen where you input the date and the meal specifications that you pre-ordered for. If not, and you want to pre-order, you will be shown this page where it will have a 2-week calendar where you can select any day you want and pre-order for those dates. When you're done selecting the dates, it will show a meal or dessert screen where you can select meal or dessert options, portion sizes, quantities, and add-ons if needed. When you're done, it will show a confirmation screen that basically makes sure that the data that you inputted is correct. When you're done, you can check out using ID or QR. The ID is specifically for if your school or organizations offer a hardware. If not, then you can only pay with a QR. When you're done, it will show a thank you screen.
Now let's talk about staff input screen. This is a different interface that we will have for the managing team. And they'll be able to log in and sign up the same way, but will be recognized as managing team. So obviously we'll have the necessities, dates, input, meal options, listing of prices, amount, portion, add-ons, etc. And they'll also be able to select a meal and set a cancellation period. So for example, this meal will be able to you can only be able to cancel it before 9 a.m. Otherwise, the cancellation will be invalid and also no refund.
Okay, let's move on with the refund screen. The refund page, the students, on the refund page, the students need to input their ID number and their school email so they can view the meal specifications of what they wanna, they didn't receive or wanna refund. So they click on the button and the money would transfer into their account. And then the website version, so every school organization will have their own link, their own website, so the students are able to access it. Yes. Yeah. And there are 4 steps that we are planning to make this happen. First, we want to hire skilled app developers that create the app. Then we bring it to the market in major app stores like Apple App Store or the Google Play App Store. Then we advertise it by promoting it through email campaigns or digital marketing advertising. And then we make profit by having annual subscription that the organization or school needs to pay to use the platform.
And so this is a timeline that we have right now. So for now, obviously, we're in the planning timeline, which will take about 1 to 2 months. And for this timeline, we're going to be doing it through research and also finding potential investors and also developers. We try to limit the development period to 6 months, and after that, we'll be testing the apps for 1 to 2 months, and then we'll be launching it and then advertising it, and we plan to do this around 2027 January if possible.
Yes, so this is the overall estimated budget for the 10-month development process, but please keep in mind that this is the highest budget, highest amount that we estimate for each category. So that leads to a total budget of approximately 2.4 million baht.
So we're planning to charge the yearly subscription for 5 million Thai baht and the 3-year subscription for 3 million Thai baht. 13 million Thai baht. Oh.
And so let's not forget our main objective is to reduce food waste as much as possible.
Yes.
Thank you very much to Team The Minions for your wonderful presentation. Now I would like to invite the judges again to have a 5-minute interview period.
Hi. Good job on presenting. I like how you mentioned about researching about food waste percentage, and you have a creative presentation. But obviously, what shocked me the most is the budget that you use. App developer, I think 2 million baht is too much. Honestly, from what I've seen, you haven't shown me the system architect, the SQL databases, is it dynamic or static? You haven't shown me yet. I think from what you said, to be frank with you, you can use ChatGPT and done.
We would like to again restate that our ideas, all of it here, are not ChatGPT. This is not AI. This is fully our ideas, and we'd like to also emphasize on the fact that this amount is the highest possible, and our price can go. Our budget can actually go down. This is just in case we want to have more budget. Yes.
Like for new features.
Yes, and we're planning to develop hire multiple app developers as well, and not just one.
I have a twofold question for you. Okay, I love your presentation. It's a great idea. As an investor, how would I make money? Number one. And as a school, why? Why pay you a subscription if I can just do it myself? If I was a school owner, I can do this for a fraction of the cost. The cafeteria can implement it by themselves. There's no additional cost whatsoever. So how would investors make money? How is this scalable to other schools if we can just implement it ourselves?
We would like to ask our advisors to show our incentives for the prices.
So we will be acting as a middleman where we will provide. We will be trying to provide a certification of. Could we please have the slide, please?
I don't know what would the name be, right? That's a good question.
Oh yeah, we were having, our plan was to have the incentives of connecting to a food bank that we made with the middleman of making a contract between this organization and the food banks. So
they will be able to get certificate. We'll be helping with the process with that, and because we'll be having all the data from the schools and organizations, we'll be able to provide, make the process easier. And also, we will already be in a partnership with these organizations to get these certificates, which will be good for the school image, for organization's image.
Okay, one question. Let's just branch out. Elevator pitch, one sentence, right? How are you going to convince us as investors to join your project? One sentence, elevator pitch, tell us how you're going to do it.
Could you please repeat the question again?
In an elevator pitch, we meet each other in an elevator, we're going to the 30th floor, you want money, we have money, you are going to tell us, join our project. One sentence, quick, short sentence, what are you going to do?
So our main objective is to reduce food waste. So basically, we can only do it with the help of organizations, with the help of schools, with the help of you, and with Enterplate. So please, cut, cover, control with Enterplate. Thank you.
Do we have enough time? Okay. I got a semi-comment, semi-question. I think you can see visibly that my reaction gone way off when I see the budget. I took off my glasses immediately, like Miranda Priestley fashion. excuse me. I like the design, but the comment here is that your presentation opens up like a firework. You open up, and I was like, oh my God, finally, somebody worthy. And then, as you proceed through with the presentation, it goes down and up, down and up, down and up. It's like I'm going to Doi Intanon, you know what I mean? Like I'm going through a course of like a lot of curves. And at one point, I think somewhere between the impact or somewhere, I lost the concentration. I lost track of what you are trying to do. I lost track of what you're effectively trying to do. I like your branding. Effectively, it's very motivized. I would say that in my industry, I work in media. This is the industry standard. You would definitely can do something like this and present it to the board. I do like it. But when I see the budget, and also I haven't even get to the application. The application logo looks mysteriously like that of a Marshall application on iPhone. I have one on my phone right now. Like the font size, the hui, and everything, it's almost the same except there's a plate. So maybe that's something you might want to dodge over if you don't want to get a lawsuit. When I see the budget, that's where the problem intensifies in my head. It's 2 million. I understand that that's the maximum, right?
We'd like to explain a little bit.
Yeah.
We had a time limit to like edit the files and the slides and everything, and then after submitting it, we realized the budget was really too much, but we weren't able to change it. So when we're presenting, we wanted to present it as if this is the highest budget possible, although the actual calculations are like much lower.
Okay, so right now, all of our judges just discussed about your budget. So could you possibly give us a number that isn't the highest? What would be the number in your mind that isn't the highest?
We could cut it down to approximately 1 million if we needed to.
Okay, so 1 million baht, right?
1 million
1 million baht. I'm gonna put this very plainly. I didn't mean any offense. I feel like with the UX UI, with the application, the branding and everything, yeah.
So sorry to cut the speech short, but the time is up. So please give them a round of applause again.
Now, I would like to invite Team Rice Spice to the stage. Please welcome them with a round of applause.
Greetings, everyone. This is Rice Spice. My name is Ik.
I'm Mimi.
Mon.
Bam. Nikki.
And today we're presenting about reducing food waste. So here are our 3 main problems. Number 1, food waste. Some of you guys did not finish their food in the cafeteria, and there are food waste. And number 2 is the traffic in cafeteria. Like during lunch period, it's really chaos in the cafeteria because many kids rush in to the food stalls. And the third is the food looks unappealing sometimes. When the cook rushes and you get the food, it looks weird. So I would be introducing our app. It's called My REIS. So the 3 main functions are food order and the customization, and we can track calories, and we could top up our student card. So let's talk about the first function, which for you guys to order food. So you guys can choose to order food in the app, and you could pick up So basically, you use your phone to order the food. You don't have to wait in line or a queue, because that would be very chaos. And when the food is done, then you can just walk and pick it up. How this works is, when you order food, you can choose your rice portion, because most of the food waste are from rice and carbs. And if you choose lesser rice, then it will be cheaper. So here are the stats. It says that most of the carbs like rice are the main major problems of food waste. All right. So we would mostly think it's better to prevent the problem than solving it later when time comes. Oh, right.
So the second feature is to track the calories. What we do is that once the person has selected their portion along with the extra ingredients, the calorie will automatically be recorded and calculate in accuracy. It will serve as a strategy to make a time and proportion management. And then as for the third one, school card top up, what it does is that you are able to check the balance you have in order to make money management with various payment methods.
So this is the app mockup. We are inspired by the TrueMoney app because of their ecosystem. And if you guys have phone, you can scan the QR, please. And just a reminder, this is just the mock-up. It doesn't really function, but it shows all the design. I made it by myself. Wait, show the QR. Or if you have my Insta, then go to the story. I have it. Next. Oh, wait, about the budget. I actually know many developers, because when I was young, like 5th grade, I want to do online business. And the front end of the website isn't expensive, but it's expensive for the back end, which could cost up to 100K baht. And this is for the maintenance. So annually, it would be 20,000 baht. Because there's hosting, domain, and many extra things you have to pay that are essentials for the website. For the development process, so first we would plan what would be the features there, and there would we be contacting many developers and to check the prices, and we could then waiting for the approval from us, and we could test and see if there's any errors, then we'll launch it. Thank you.
Thank you to Team Rice Spice for your wonderful presentation and app design. Now I would like to pass my mic on to the judges. You have 5 minutes.
First of all, nice app design, really cool. I want to ask more about after your app launch, how long do you think it takes to everyone to be aware and everyone to actually join in on this app, as well as, oh yeah, I already asked it, how long? Yeah.
Honestly, if we launch this app or website, the school can just promote it, because we're using it at school. And people check their social medias anyways. And, yep.
What do you think are the incentives that would make the students want to join this app?
Can you ask again?
What are the incentives that would make your friends join this app? Incentive, what would they get out of this?
You don't have to wait in line. Honestly, I don't even eat at the cafeteria because there's too many people.
Okay, thank you.
why did you start this project?
Um,
Is the goal just saving the environment, or are we making money?
Actually, both. Because some students, I mean, not me, I'm a big bag, but like, some students eat less, so they can just choose lesser rice. Because if they order like the normal portion, then if they don't eat it, then they'll just throw it in a bin and there's food waste. And, oh, actually, how we make money. I was here since kindergarten 1, and actually I got inspired from the N-Grade Pro. You guys know that, right? And it was a paid feature until the school changed to My Grade, which they were the one developed by themselves. So we can just let other schools who want to use this app and pay the subscription fee, maybe like 20K baht per year annually.
But why? You want to scale it to other schools? My question again, like I'm going to ask everyone, is why? Why, as an investor, would you stand in front of them and say, something that you can do by yourself, you now have to pay a developer and subscription and whatever, purely because you do not want to stand in a line? So for your convenience, you need my money, and there's no benefit. There's no return on investment whatsoever.
Honestly, many schools could do this too, but there are some schools like outside Bangkok that could not have access to these, and I think we could promote them there, actually, like government schools, Thai schools, or whatever, yeah.
Why? How do I make money? That's why we're here. This is business, right? How do I make money?
From subscription? What? Oh.
You're not answering the question. How? How are we making money? You're pitching to the investors. How are they making money? Because now you're taking our money, you say, okay, we've got this app, I don't have to stand in line. Yes, I love my old My Grade. This is fantastic. I hate the cafeteria. How are the investors making money? Because it's a substantial investment. It's subscription all the time. You want to scale it to other schools. But there's no value proposition for the investor whatsoever.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know what to answer, but okay.
Oh my
Thank
God,
you.
dude. Okay.
Any more questions?
I mean, I kind of don't want the same answer, so I guess I'll just wrap everything up. Overall, you, after we asked you a few more questions, I myself think that there's a gap in problem identification. So maybe, well, you said that this app is incentivizing, but you're not really filling in the gap, so there's a logical gap here. That's not really well, that's something you have to, if you want to move forward with this project, that's something you have to fix. Overall, I really like the budget. It's very feasible. I like the design. I like the slides. It's bomb. It's slay. It's bomb. Really, slay.
Thank you.
The most number one important thing I really appreciate from you is that you're a very honest person. If you come up to me with a better proposition with problem identification, I would give you my investment. You're very honest. You're the kind of person that would say, I don't eat at cafeteria because there's too much people. I actually don't eat there anyway. Yeah, I don't know, thank you. I really like that answer. It's very honest. That's a very good quality to have in this world. So you got a pass from me. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Diva.
Well, thank you very much to Rice Spice for the big bag advice. Okay, now I would like to invite the next team, that is Intuitive Minds.
Test? Okay, it works. Okay. Okay. I start? Good morning, fellow students and judges. I am Alicia.
I am Toku.
I'm Cassandra.
I'm KJ.
And I'm Kieran.
Now, most of us know that schools worldwide are facing a common issue: food waste. Cafeteria bins being filled with uneaten rice, half-eaten sandwiches, and fruits and veggies that the kids simply don't want to eat. However, we, intuitive minds, propose a solution to this issue. A fun school-wide challenge, the quest to waste less. Now, we hope that with this challenge, the students will be more mindful of their food waste, build good habits, and most importantly, have fun.
Now, dear audience, I would like to ask all of you a very simple question. Have you ever walked into a cafeteria and noticed how much food is actually being wasted? Now, have you ever asked yourself another question? What level actually makes that waste, whether it be elementary, middle, or high school? Now, we actually surveyed our school's cafeteria on Tuesday and asked the staff members about what level makes the most waste. And it turns out that elementary students contribute the most, with high school being the least. Now, why would this might be the case? It's because of pickiness. As many of us growing up, we know that we can be really picky when it comes to things like vegetables. Our school already has a system aiming to tackle this problem. They separate the waste into two bins. The first bin being meat and carbs, with the second bin being vegetables. What the school does with this waste is that they actually sell it to a company, which then the company in turn converts it into fish food, which they then later feed to fish. And our project, we are mainly inspired by helping and solving elementary students, as the main problem of our project, we are aiming to deal with elementary students as a whole by turning simple things into a more fun and interactive way, which aims to motivate students.
Okay, so for our project prototype, essentially the food waste being created is a seemingly invisible problem, especially to the elementary school students. So we want to have a fun way to illustrate the problem and also get them to a goal, right? We want them to make below a certain amount of waste, and every day the screen in the cafeteria that will be mounted shows the amount of waste that they created day by day. They can see visibly the amount of waste they create, and it gives them an incentive to go below that and actually finish their food. We actually here using the school mascot, a lion, as the face of this project. And also at the end, this goes on for a week. It's a week-long challenge. And at the end of the week, rewards will be given to a random select few students if they manage to meet below a certain quota of waste. For actually making this come alive, we will require to mount a TV screen in the cafeteria and also have the code for the program. And we're also going to need one member of staff in order to actually run the program and collect the data for the waste created day by day so that the program is updated every day.
Now, the total annual budget of combining all these together would be around estimated to be 15,000 baht in total to to put all these together. Our general timeline for this is we will plan to start collecting data on March 30th for like at least a month before we start the challenge. Our way to collect data is by asking one of the staff, as Cassandra said earlier, to keep track of the data for at least a month. We will weigh the food and take the accumulated weekly amounts and make it into and combine it to be a quota to meet for the first challenge. And while we're doing that, we'll also be installing the program and hardware and add a TV so that we can start the thing. And hopefully we will start it by April 27th and then continue on weekly from then.
That is our pitch. Thank you for listening, and we do hope that you will aid us in our quest to waste less.
Wow, what a nice presentation from Intuitive Minds. Now I would like to present the honor for the judges to ask them some questions.
Hello. Okay. Great presentation, by the way, and I like the designs of more of the elementary schools friendly, more of more playful, less strict, less formal. So might be related to your concepts. But one of the questions I want to ask you is the tracking system. Because there's only one, as you mentioned earlier, there's only just one staff monitoring and also keeping up with the details, with the information, right? Am I understanding correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And with the elementary schools activities, the students' activities, it's very hard to control their activities, their actions, and also it's very hard to control their behavior on if they have to go in line to just wait each ways. And there's just only one staff, so it's very hard to maintain the how efficiency the process would be, how fast, how slow things would go. It's very hard to track their activities and based on their ways. So I would want you to clarify more on the process of tracking.
Okay. So essentially, the way it works, this is not just specifically for elementary. This is a school-wide, so the elementary feels connected to the other students as well. We don't want to isolate them. But at the end of the day, the staff actually put all the waste in barrels, and we can easily just measure it one time at the end of the day, at 1, because that's when the cafeteria closes, and then they can record it. It's pretty simple, actually.
Okay, I've got a question for you. And you didn't give us any return on investment, so I'm not even going to ask the question. So I don't know how we're going to make money. Yeah. Number one. Number two, the entire premise of your presentation is human behavior of elementary school children, right? When you look at the current trends on how people perform any sort of action, you can look at this environmental impact and you're outraged because we're wasting so much food, right? And what will make the kids change their behavior apart from liking and subscribing? Because that will create the emotional closure. That's what they're conditioned to do with 30-second reels. Like and subscribe, emotional closure, I've done something, the brain shuts off. Now you want them to do a whole host of things, number one. Number two, how are you going to fight two causes? Number one, obesity, because now you're forcing them for this reward. I want my friends to think I am better. I'm going to finish all my food, but I'm not really hungry anymore, so I'm just going to eat and eat and eat. And the other one, not eating because I want to get the reward. Because you are not regulating these kids' behavior in an emotionally stable way or in an adequate way to prevent them from doing things in a dangerous way to get the points. You only have one staff member anyway. How are you going to combat this?
Well, the kids already eat at the cafeteria quite often. It is true, I didn't really think about that point when I was making it. My main mindset was that if we put like a mascot for the thing and the mascot got sad, if the children were making too much waste, then they would be like, oh, I'm not fully finishing my food and now the lion is sad.
Okay, that's great. So the mascot's happy, but now I am bulimic.
Yeah.
So I'm bulimic and my friend is super obese. So now we're Laurel and Hardy over here, and the mascot's happy because we have very little food waste. But we have some serious emotional problems now because I want to win. I want to be better than John. Because John, he barely eats because John is very skinny and I'm a big fat guy.
Yeah.
So now it just causes some emotional damage and eating disorders. How do you combat that, especially with elementary school kids? Because they're pretty nasty.
We could make it so that the quota we set is basically just the flat average, right? They eat as much as they normally do. It's more just to like give them like the idea that, oh, wasting food is not a great idea, right? But if they do like throw away their food, it won't impact like the quota too much because it's the average already. We don't want them to go over. That's the thing.
I must cut the time short now. Thank you so much to the judges as well as the team Intuitive Minds. Thank you very much. Now I would like to pass on to the next team, and that is the Apex.
Just click on me.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. We're the team Apex. I'm Sono, and here's my teammate.
I'm Berber.
Dandar.
I'm Lenny.
So these days, like eating food in front of camera is became like the new trend, but this new trend is also like create a lot of food waste. Let's take a look at the example. Do you guys know who is Tanda is? Yeah, she's right here, and like she eat a lot in front of the camera, but in real life she she often wastes the food and she often wastes the food, and like that's why we create our new project, which is Bone Boot. And for today's presentation of Bone Boot is be covering our ideas, our problem, and like how does it work, and also and like the impact it can make. So let's start with the problems. School produce like large amount of food waste like every day due to like various reasons, and one of the main issue is bones. Yeah, and this kind of waste leads to many bad effects.
So we're going to be talking about the objectives. Our first objective is to create a practical and realistic solution to reduce food waste and to transform these food waste into a more useful resources, and to strengthen our connections with community, school, and other environments. So what is Bone Boots? Bone Boots, it is basically a machine that will grind the bones and turn these into these fine powders, which is basically called bone meal. Have you ever played Minecraft before? If you do, then you might have heard of bone meals. And these bone meals, they are rich in chlorine and phosphorus. And because of these components, if you feed it to your cats and your dogs, their nutrients will be more balanced, and their diets will, their diets will definitely be better. And fun fact, around 100,000 to 200,000 stray dogs and 90,000 stray cats, they are roaming around Bangkok. And our so-called waste could do so much in helping these animals. And for the plants, as I said, these bone meals, they are rich in phosphorus and calcium. So just by sprinkling these bones into the plants, your plants will definitely be stronger roots and more nutritious. So what inspired us to have this idea? We noticed that specifically in our school that most of our waste, they are being fed to the fish, but not all of the waste. The bones, they are being thrown away. We noticed that. And as we see this, we saw the gap, and we realized we're literally throwing away our gold mines of nutrition, and it inspired us to make the bone boots.
For a design, we designed it a 4-in-1 process machine which will process leftover chicken bones and turn them into a fine bone powder. This idea is like a washing machine, but instead of cleaning clothes, it cleans and processes bone instead. So there's 4 stages. The first stage is the bones go through a washing stage, and it will sterilize and steam them to kill the bacteria. And heating and sterilizing will use a batch cooker technologies to remove the bacteria as well. And the third step is drying, which the machine will completely remove the moisture from the bone. So it could be used for the grinding process and turns them into fine bone powder, which we could use as a fertilizer for plants and bone meal for cats and dogs, like Bor have mentioned. This is a brief model of what we came up with. So for prototype, there's a few technologies that we combined together. The first one is a batch cooker technology, which is for sterilizing and steaming, which is also commonly used for food processing. And the next one is a cyclone mill technology, which will grind up all the bones into a very fine powder quickly. And for the drying process, it's similar to an air fryer technology, which use hot circulating air. And for the interior design, we use stainless steel, so it could be rust-proof and safe, and also easy for the community service club to maintain. And our main goal is to create a compact, safe, and practical machine that school could actually use for reducing food waste.
We'll make this project possible by seeking funds from our investors, and then we'll move on to manufacturing in a factory, because this project isn't a simple project where we can make it by ourselves, so we'll have to manufacture it in a factory. Next, we'll be conducting a lot of testings to make sure that it passes the safety regulations and make sure that everyone's safe. Then we'll also be, once the machine is safe, we'll be implementing in other schools, and we'll first implement it in our school, then we'll expand it by implementing in other schools. So our final product will be used as a bone meal for like the shelters, as well as our local farms and local parks. The whole project will be managed by us, and then we'll also be collaborating with our school's community service team to help us with our overall management.
So for the timeline, starting next month, we'll plan to design, and it will roughly take around 4 months to have our final designs. Then we'll be having a 6-month timeline where we will fully test and make sure that our product is safe for the consumption and also for fertilizing. And by September of 2028, we plan to actually launch it in our school and use it in our school cafeteria. So for the budget, most of the numbers that goes into making the cyclone mill procedure and the washing machine system.
Time is up. Thank you very much to the Apex. Please give them a round of applause. Now, I would like to pass my time to the judges for 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm going to ask a quick question. Of all the ideas, I love this one very much because you can actually diversify where you can make your money from. But again, I have to ask you, how do we make money as investors? Because you mentioned in your previous slides, the end user, it'll be used by strays and by animal shelters, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so now those organizations are generally non-profit organizations. They don't pay. They work on funds that they get from other people, from donations and things like that, government subsidies and so on. So how do investors make money from your product? Because the end user doesn't spend money. You have nothing coming in and you have a massive amount of capital outlay in order just to build the machine. You didn't account for any electricity usage, any usage of braking, any maintenance, any people that has to look after this machine, nothing. Not even sorting. So where does the money come from? It's a great idea, especially because you can target different industries. But where does the money come from for you to survive after the initial investment?
Okay, thank you. So I'll explain. So first of all, in our calculations, we haven't calculated the overhead costs, including the labor, the electricity, and all that. So how we'll be getting profit is we'll be selling our product, which is the bone meal, online in order to generate profit. And from that profit, we'll be also using it to give it to the shelters, like I mentioned earlier. And so our main profit will definitely come from the online sales, and then we can also raise funds as this is something that we've been doing already, like fundraising in school. So we can use that to raise income.
Okay. Okay, so I'd like to ask some of the questions based on this presentation. Like, for you, it's mainly about the bones, right?
Yes, mainly about like chicken bones and beef bones in our school.
Okay. Okay, so let me put in this way. Let's say we have food waste, but I mean, they are not just only bones. So I mean, based on the quantity, is it possible to do so? This one, and also for the this one, it's all about how it will be beneficial for the school, right? But I mean, this one is based on help for the pets, right?
So it is beneficial for both, not just the school itself, but also the community around the school and also to the students. So the reason we decided on bones is because the school is already managing the other waste, and like other groups mentioned, like the school is already doing with the fish feeding and all that. And like because bones, they decompose, they take long to decompose, and like we are trying to use that to solve the problem of like taking long to decompose. So we're using the bones to turn it into something beneficial for the community. Like this will also help the students learn more about like how we can help the community by giving it to the needs.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Team Apex for your wonderful presentation and idea. And thank you to the judges as well. Now, I would like to introduce the next team, which is Astolfo FC. Please give them a round of applause.
Greetings, everyone, and I am Luke, representing here, showing you a solution to a problem that has been occurring in the recent years. I would like to introduce you to our NGO, Interfood. Our NGO's purpose is to reduce food waste within school.
Good morning, my name is Om, and this is my team, Luke, Mark, and Elton in the back. Next. Our objective is to reduce food waste, like create practical solutions to reduce food waste and make it more efficient to use them.
Okay, now let's talk about our inspirations. Where did we get our inspirations from? We are AP environmentalist students, and food waste is correlated with one of our topics. And in this course, we're also taught how we can make biofuels out of food waste. And seeing how much food is wasted daily motivate us to take action.
So the flow of our presentation will be introducing to food waste, talking about how what food waste means and the consequences, and we'll talk about the EPS program, which is our program, and we'll be talking about our logistics, how much each costs, how much startup money we'll have, and stuff.
Okay, let's define food waste. Food waste is food meant for people to eat that is not consumed and ends up being thrown away or lost.
Did you guys know 1 billion pounds of food are being wasted each year, equivalent to 1.7 billion US dollar? Can we really let hard work like that from farmers and chefs be wasted each year?
Another consequence is that food waste is mainly ended up in landfills, and when it breaks down, it produces methane, which is more harmful than carbon dioxide.
Now, let me introduce you to the EPS program, where E stands for educating, P stands for preventing, and S stands for salvaging.
Okay, let's start with the first step of our program. E is for educating, and its purpose is changing students' behavior through awareness, training, and incentives. And it has 3 main pillars. The first one is awareness, and its objective is to provide interactive lectures and online videos that educate students and staffs about food waste. The second pillar is training, and its objective is to train staff and students on how not to waste food. The third pillar is rewards. We will provide incentives and regulations. If not followed, consequences will be met.
P is for preventing. Approximately 75% of food are prepared in bulk, so there's many wasted and excess food. So now, the main question is, how can we really prevent food waste? And that is for students to have a way to order food. As you can see here, it doesn't matter where you come from. No matter how rich your country is, there's always a budget, especially like paper. So let's say your country is like maybe poor. You have paper, you have Google Docs, you have machines. So yes, there's many ways for you to buy stuff.
Now, moving on to salvaging, which is quite frankly the most important, since as any plan goes, there will eventually be food waste, right? And we can salvage those food waste by making either biofuel or biocapacitors. Starting off with biofuel, what is biofuel? Every car, every motor automotive machine requires fuel. And we can make fuel out of waste from fruit scraps. The first fuel type is biodiesel, where we first strain out the oil or extract oil from cookery machines or food that has high oil concentration like meat. And then we filter it through processing and make sure there's no water in it, because water and oil doesn't mix well, obviously. And then after that, we mix oil with methanol and acetylite to boost up the rate of chemical reaction. And then in the end, we get biofuel or biodiesel. The second type of biodiesel is bioethanol. Remember the food waste that we didn't use and we extracted the oil from? Those waste could be used into making ethanol by breaking down the food's enzymatic breakdown, which is breaking down of the enzymes, and then fermentation into making ethanol. And distillation helps the ethanol to be more pure and more concentrated. Moving on to capacitors. Capacitors are tiny electronic devices in every single electronics. Pull up your phone, those contains capacitors. Light circuits, everything contains capacitors. And we can make those things out of bio waste. Why is it important? With the rise of AI and industries such as electronics, the capacitors becomes more expensive. And if we are able to make it out of bio waste, it would be nice. How do we make it? First of all, we take high concentration carbon, my mistake, food products with high concentration of carbon, such as banana peels, orange peels, etc., etc. We then heat it to 110 Celsius and then break it down to the size of 2 to 4 millimeter. Then we incorporate potassium carbonate into the food waste. After that, we'll heat it up to 800 Celsius at a rate of 10 Celsius per minute until it reaches 800 Celsius. Then we flush it with nitrogen and until it cools down for 30 minutes. After that, we add hydrochloric acid at the base. We dunk it in hydrochloric at a concentration of 5% and then in demineralized water that is heated up. Then we get electrodes, which we then dry it out for 110 Celsius again. And electrodes are an important component in capacitors. Why? They surround the two sides of the capacitors. They're literally the base of capacitors. And without capacitors, the electronic world would not run. Moving on to logistics.
Okay, fundings and budget. Where will we get our fundings? We have multiple sources of fundings. We have fundings from grants, government, business loan, etc., etc. And how about budget? It really depends on the school. And as you know, the wealthier the school, the higher the budget. But we're assuming overall. So for app development is $0 to $50. For education materials, training program and workshops and reward system ranges from $50 to $100. Now let's talk about timeline. For the first 2 months, we'll be planning and designing. We'll plan and create prototypes for the app. Next is development. It's improving the app and training the staffs. Next is pilot testing, which is in the 5th and 6th month, where we will select specific schools to try it out and give us feedback. And month 7 will be full implementation, where we launch across schools and districts.
Now, facilities as an NGO, we'll manage the transportation of waste, and we'll use trucks to collect distribution from schools. And we'll have different locations within different cities, and larger cities would have more facilities to make capacitors and to make biofuel. And processing, we will manage transport, processing, and distribution. And that's also a way for us to earn money as an NGO by distributing the capacitors and selling them towards customers. And why should schools join this program? The reason, we manage their waste for them. And thank you.
Very well done. Very well done, Astolfo FC. Now, I would like to ask the judges again to present some questions for them. Thank you very much.
Guys, that was pretty cool. Well done. Again, I don't know if you factored in all the costs of production, to actually do this at a scale that you mentioned. I'm going to start from the back end. You said you're going to manage the logistics with trucks, right? Do you know what the cost is, to run a truck, one truck? Do you know what the cost of maintenance of fuel of things are to run one vehicle?
That totally depends on the geographic location, since obviously Thailand, if you import trucks, it's obviously going to be more expensive than America because Thailand has a 300% tax rate on vehicles.
No, great. That's perfect. keep that in mind. Number 2, you talk about making biofuel. Biofuel is a very, very, very regulated material. In countries like the UK, it's actually outlawed, and they actually dye the fuel that comes from the refineries versus fuel that is made at home. So you can see the difference in color, and you get fined if they stop you, and they do stop you. Insurance does not pay out if your car is seen with biofuel. Premiums climb through the roof. How would you implement biofuel in a country where fuel regulation is so strict and there's no incentive for a consumer like me to use biofuel, which at these costs that you mentioned is not going to be much cheaper than just buying from the gas station? That's question number 2. Lastly is, how do investors make money? Once more.
Okay, for question number 2, right? We'll start off in lower developed countries where regulations will be less strict. So let's say Thailand compared to UK. Of course, Thailand's regulation for biofuel would be less strict, right? Affirm?
Yeah, but it's still regulated. You can't put biofuel in a car. The moment you put biofuel in a car, your insurer voids your warranty. You no longer have insurance on your vehicle. So you get into a car crash, you have no insurance because you used the wrong fuel. That's how insurance works. There's no incentive to use biofuel.
Yeah, but in less developed countries, many people don't even have insurance in the first place. Let's be honest here.
Where do you implement the program? Yeah. So
We'll start off in lesser developed countries, and then we'll show how biofuel can be used and how effective. And that would hopefully provide countries that are higher developed to see the usefulness of biofuels and implement them within cars eventually. So it'll be a longer process, but it will eventually work out.
Next, I would like to call on the 50% groups.
Please give them a round of applause.
I gotta introduce. Hello guys, we are 50% and our pitch is about tasteful instead of wasteful. And we are Sua, Wendy, Angel, and AJ. Okay, let's get straight into it. Okay, so first I would like to state the objective for our pitch. And so our first objective is to make good use of the food waste at our school, and we also have to make it beneficial to the school and also to the environment. Now, before we actually dive into the prototype, next slide. I would like to say we're first taking a precaution because preventing is the best cure, right? And before we start making use of our food waste, we do want to limit it. So we will put up flyers, posters around the school stating how food waste is bad, and maybe take a chapel period, have a teacher come up here, talk about it, spread the awareness, how food wasting is just generally bad. And by this, we can limit the food waste. But that's only really 50% of the entire job. So now is the other 50%, which is how we're gonna make use of the food waste.
Okay, so our project prototype. Our program is basically, first off, we started by going to the cafeteria and personally asking the lunch ladies how much food waste there is in a day for our school. And there's around about 15 kilograms of food waste, which is mixed of dry foods, wet foods, meat, noodles, dairy, whatever. And they get rid of most of it by feeding it to the fish, storing it in water, or turning it into fertilizer. But feeding it to the fish and turning it into fertilizer doesn't get rid of all the waste, because there's meat and there's noodles that can't be turned into fertilizer. And there's fish food, which most animals get harmed by consuming human products. So, and plus there's still leftover food waste. So it doesn't really solve the problem. So we decided to send it to a waste to energy company instead. And this is an eco-friendly way which they will use the food waste and turn it into energy. For the budget, we will discuss it later, but for now, the cash will be donated to charity. and which will also earn the school recognition, which in turn will attract more parents and more students to the school.
And now I'm going to explain what is the company, which is Energy Absolute, and also what is waste to energy. So you can see that is the diagram of how they do it, but let me break it down. So basically they will take general waste, food waste, any sort of waste, they'll heat it up, and then the heat will boil a water chamber that is in a subsequent place, and they will produce pressurized steam, which can spin the turbines and generate electricity. So we're not making any fuel, we're just making really dirty stuff and we're turning it into clean, renewable energy.
For our inspiration, the company we'll be cooperating with is called Energy Absolute. There you can see the location that we put, and you can actually go to the website and check yourself.
Okay, so for our transportation, this is basically our only cost since we have 15 kilograms of food waste per day, which we only need 1 truck per day. So we based on this calculation by the truck rental companies, and it was estimated by 1,000 baht per day.
Okay, now with everything explained, let's get into our basic timeline. First, we will rent out an eco-car per day to help us transport the waste to the electric company. And then we'll organize a partnership with the electric company, Energy Absolute, to take our waste and give us money in exchange. Once those two things are started, we can get started on a daily delivery. And then after that, we can use the money to donate to charities such as the Ban Nokamin Foundation, which the school has worked with before. I've been there. It is a foundation for orphans. And now that that's done, let's speak about our budget.
For our budget, since the car per day is only 1,000 per week, that would be only 5,000 per cost, and per month 20,000, and per year 240,000. The pure profit we will be making though would be 9,000 baht, which we searched online how the companies would give us the money. So after reducing the cost, per week we would get 4,000 baht, per month 16,000, and per year 192,000, which we would be donating to charity so that the school can get recognition and get money through parents which are interested through it.
Okay, now we've done our 50%. Now it's time for you to do yours. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation from 50%. Now, again, I would like to present the judges 5 minutes to ask them some important questions.
Hello, wonderful presentation, and I think you have a creative idea. I just want to ask you some few questions. How many cars do you need for your current scale at the moment?
One. Just one, because one per day since it's only 15 kg of food.
Do you plan to scale your business more to, let's say, like right now, one car in one city, or?
Because this is only for our own school, right? We want to do it for our school first, and then the company we have, Energy Absolute, right? They do have lots of it. They have it in Phuket, they have it in Chonburi, they have it in a lot of places in Thailand, but we want to start with our school first, see how it goes, and then, you know, progress more and more.
Okay, thank you.
Relax. This is actually one of the better ideas that we've seen today, in my opinion. From a business point of view, your money, the little bit of money you make from the donations and whatever, that's okay. But, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Your main source of income is through strategic public relations, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that is a great way to actually implement the plan, that you're focusing on the school. You are not involved in the hands-on work of it at all. You're basically just sending it to a company who's a specialist in it. No machines, no nothing. You collect the money based on what they're paying you for the waste, and you building the reputation for the school. What I would have liked to see is how you are going to use this public relations to earn some more money is there some sort of projection? What do parents feel? How do they feel? But overall, that was fantastic. Well done.
Thank you very much to 50% and the judges. Let's give them another round of applause as we continue to the next team. Now, we have only 3 teams left, so please set aside for us to listen to the rest of the teams. May I invite Lucky to present their innovation. Please give them a round of applause.
Hello.
Wait, check if it's on first. This one works. Good morning, everyone. Before we begin, I would like to give everyone a task. Please look at the phone screen you're holding in your hand right now. Did you know that phone screen you're holding right now has as much bacteria as a toilet seat does? Yes, it does. But did you know bacteria is actually all around us, both good and bad? So today, the $1 million question we're going to be answering is, how can we utilize this good bacteria to solve a real-world problem? Let's find out.
I'm Pangji.
I'm Rini.
And I'm William. And this is where our solution starts, with back-to-back. So, why the name back-to-back? Back-to-back is derived from the phrase back to bacteria, which explains our product's process of breaking down food waste with bacteria. Back-to-back can also be abbreviated into B2B, which refers to business-to-business model, underscoring our intentions in doing business with schools.
And now, let me tell you about the gravity of the situation that we're dealing with. 1/3 of all food produced globally is wasted. Okay, globally, it's too big. Let's look at Thailand. 38 to 39% of all municipal waste is food. Okay, Thailand's still too big. Let's look at our school. 20 kgs of food is being wasted daily because students keep throwing it out. Okay, now let me talk to you about our objective, our aim. What do we aim to do? First of all, we aim to reduce the amount of food waste in school in Thailand, namely Bangkok and Pattaya. How are we going to achieve this objective? We're going to achieve this through a use of a special soil culture that we formulated.
An added benefit of what we're doing also gives the school the opportunity to say that their school is sustainable, because in this day and age, all schools want to have the benefit of telling parents that we're a sustainable school. We did some research on specifically international schools in Bangkok, and almost all of them are trying to start up a garden club to show that they are sustainable. So this will definitely be an added benefit.
Our main motivation in starting our project is because us as students, we observe every day that a substantial amount of food waste is generated each day, and little to no efforts are being made to reducing these food waste.
So, let us show you our prototype. What does our prototype contain? It has a reusable plastic container because our model is basically that we refill these containers so we don't create excess plastic waste in the process, as well as our soil culture being inside. But what is this soil culture?
This soil culture, it works by secreting an enzyme called amylase, which breaks down our food waste. And this amylase comes from our 2 specialized strains of bacteria called Bacillus subtilis and Bacillus infantis. We picked these 2 strains of bacteria specifically because they are specialized in yielding amylase. Amylase, Bacillus subtilis, nature is that it is able to aid Bacillus infantis in its survival rate because Bacillus infantis cannot survive in uncontrolled environments.
I would like to expand on what she's saying. We did lots of research to narrow down what kind of bacteria we should use in our soil culture, and we noticed that most may be harmful or dangerous to students, which we absolutely do not want in a school environment. So we narrowed it down to the first one was actually Bacillus infantis, but we noticed that this is actually not able to sustain by itself, and it needs another bacteria to help sustain in the soil. So we chose Bacillus subtilis as the other bacteria to make the perfect formula, because when both of them are combined, it can sustain in soil enough for them to use in composting. So let's continue on. How can we actually make this possible? Because we've given you all of the facts, but how is the way that it's gonna work? Before I get to our subscription and delivery process, I would like to expand first on what she said. The bacteria in the soil is going to decompose the food waste. Basically, how it works is we're going to give a compost bin with our first initial delivery, and we do the first steps for them, but basically it's like layers of a cake. So the first step is you put the first layer of soil, and every day the food waste that is made is placed one by one. But before you put the next day's food waste, you actually have to put a layer of soil between. So it's like layers of cake. So let's move on. Subscription and delivery. It's actually really easy steps. So first, we're going to send emails to all the schools in the targeted areas. So our business is very scalable. Right now, our target is Bangkok and Pattaya, but once we get more resources, then we can scale more. And our second step is advertising on social media as well, because we may have the chance of missing a business. So we want to make schools, so we want to make sure that all schools are reached. And then our third and final step is making sure the school mentions to us whether they want us to remove the compost on site, because some schools may not have a need for that compost. So we have the option to remove it, and they will get an additional 5% discount. So they have an incentive to give it to us. So please bear with me on this part because our pricing is a bit detailed. Our pricing has two basic plans. The first plan is called the Back to Basic plan. This basically works it's an unadjusted price. This is just the base level for all schools. So if your school is around 1,000 population, we based it off of this school actually. It's a 4,000 Thai baht initial price, and then 3,000 baht monthly for the continuous soil culture delivered bi-weekly. And then our second plan is the back to school plan. Now this is for bigger schools than ours because we know for sure there are bigger schools. We will adjust the prices based on their school's population because for sure they have more food waste. And our profit margin is 47.5 baht because our production cost is 2,100 baht for all of the essential items in the initial delivery, plus the second cultured soil. Our markup is 97.5% to ensure that we have profits. So our last and final step of this is delivery. We will do the first initial delivery of all of the essential parts, which is the compost bin, the 2 sets of gloves, safety goggles, and masks for safety, as well as the first cultured soil container. And then after bi-weekly, the soil will be delivered to your school, so you can keep restarting it. And if you requested that we remove the compost, then it will be done when we come to deliver. So I have a question to ask, William. Why us?
Now, why us? What makes us special? Our business is feasible. It is incredibly time-saving. Time is money. And it is effective while not compromising on the efficiency of the process. And there are also no other businesses that target school and aiding them with composting, making our business highly economical and profitable.
So I would like to ask one final question. Because our project is so scalable, right? If we happen to move to the whole of Southeast Asia instead of just cities in Thailand or the whole of Thailand, what does it mean for our world?
Let's give a round of applause to the team Lucky. What another insightful idea. How great. Now, I would like to present the judges 5 minutes again to ask them some valuable questions.
So I want you to clarify a little bit about the pricing of selling the product, because 4,000 per month is very high. Like, where did you base your price from?
Okay, thank you so much for your question. The place where we based our price off of is from like the base prices of all of the stuff that's included in our kit. So in our kit, there is one compost bin and 2 sets of all of the safety measures, so the goggles, the gloves, as well as the N95 mask, and then 1 week, 2 containers worth of the culture. Now the reason it's a bit expensive is because the bacteria used in the culture is a little bit pricey because it's kind of specific, so it's a bit hard to source. But we believe that the pricing of this is quite affordable for a school. Though we know it's priced quite high, for schools that are quite big, they will be able to definitely afford 4,000. That's what we believe.
Thank you.
Very nice. This is actually quite simple, quite easy to implement. I like that. Now, how would you convince the school to do it? Because not everyone is highly educated in these matters. Now, and the more you simplify something, the more wrong it becomes. So at its most simple idea, it's wrong. So you can't simplify it too much because they won't understand the bacteria. How would you get the school to implement this? And I would have liked to see you focus more on the sustainability issue for parents, where you mentioned the research that is so important, because that's where your money is going to come from, I think, in the end, is the perception of what people have with the school. But I'm a little bit concerned in your costing model. How do you figure the costing, and how are you going to get people to actually invest into this? Because it's just a bin and soil. In farmers in our countries and the countries I've visited, they do this already without the specific bacteria, so it takes a tiny bit longer. But how are you going to get them to implement this?
Thank you so much for that question. I would like to emphasize, I don't think we emphasized it enough, and I'm quite sorry about that. Our schools, our business's specialty is that we're catered towards school. So we do know that there are many businesses like us in the market, but we've done some research about businesses that are like us, and none of them are catered towards schools like we are, especially that we know 4,000 Thai baht is a little bit too much for just being catered to schools. But we want to explain that food waste is a really significant issue on the market, and we want to emphasize that this is one of the lowest market options, price options that they can choose, because sustainability is definitely something schools are aiming towards for. So the way we would convince a school to go for us rather than other businesses that are choosing food waste is to emphasize how we are one of the lowest priced options. Though expensive, we are one of the lowest priced options that they can state we're sustainable. Like the school can state they're sustainable.
Good, thank you.
Thank you so much to Team Lucky for their
Thank you so much.
Now, I would like to present the next team. Tomato.
So I recently went to a debate showcase not too long ago, and the prompt was, is Bangkok already there? Now you may ask me, it's always been there. It's been there for hundreds of years, and you're right, it's been there. But what they meant was, economically, has Bangkok reached its flow state? Now I've heard some interesting answers such as traffic issues or unfinished roads, but what really stood out to me was poverty and homelessness. Now keep this in mind because this will be important later. Good morning, right? Good morning, everyone. We are Tomatoes, and I'm you.
I'm Prey. I'm Imi.
I'm And we believe that there needs to be a change. Introducing
FIG. FIG stands for Food Industrial Cement. This machine converts food waste into the main component of usable cement. The machine uses various components such as and by adjusting temperature and pressure, we can make a variety of products out of this machine. But for now, we're focusing on cement, which is 4 times stronger than the normal cement we use today. And from the factors such as temperature, pressure, compaction, and mold, we can ensure the proper formation of the cement that can be brought to good use. And this machine aims to good use, to build houses for the homeless people and to use food waste more efficiently. Now onto the process. First step will be the straining. We'll dump the food into a machine where there will be a separation of water from the food. Next, onto the dehydration step, where the food waste will then enter a chamber with a degree of 105 degrees Celsius, where the food will get dehydrated, which will then continue on to the process of polarization, where the food will get blended into tiny particles, which will take up around 3 minutes. These tiny particles will then be put into molds for the making of bricks, and will be compressed with the degree temperature of around 180 degrees Celsius and up to 60 megapascal of pressure.
Now, according to Chulalongkorn, a student can produce up to 1.5 kilograms of waste per day. That is the maximum. And if you round that by week, that would be 10.5 kilograms, and yearly would be 3,780 kilograms. A school of 900 students would range to 1,020,600 kilograms. An average house of 30 to 35 square meters with 1 floor would take about 6,000 kilograms of cement. So then if you divide that, that will be about 170 houses just from food waste. Now, these are some schools that, these are 11 lists of schools and sandbox framework programs that encourages emerging industrial production to be able to support and host programs in terms of these things such as Chulalongkorn, King Mongkut University, or even Science and Innovations program.
Next will be our inspiration. We got this, we're inspired by a Japanese man called Yuma Sakai. He got an idea to turn food waste into small edible pieces of squares. And it turns out it's actually 4 times stronger than the normal cement that we use today. So we thought that if we made it better and we made it larger, we could build houses or many things from it. And now we think about how the machine design, how we actually convert food waste into cement, and how they will be distributed accordingly. Next will be the budget. The overall cost for everything is about $2,000, which is about 66,000 baht in Thai. And RAS having 900 students, if we increase the school fees by only 200 baht per student, the total will be 180,000 baht in total, which the machine only costs 66,000, causing us to have over $100,000 left, which can be cost for the fixing of machine, the maintenance, and others.
Now, in terms of the distribution, this is purely future potential, but we would like to cover that there can be a department called IDO that covers these uses such as the building, sorting, distribution, and monthly pickups that are especially used for this cause. Now, in terms of development or future plans, since we do recognize the increasing poverty and homelessness issues in Thailand, we would like to cover that this can benefit a wide range of people. We plan to increase this to rural communities and as a central idea, a central center to be able to benefit them and, my bad, to properly implement this correctly as it is a revolutionary innovation that is new.
We believe that this project is realistic and most necessary for further development, as it not only just solves the problem of proper food waste management, but also the problem of homelessness. With the initial cost that could be high, we've provided solutions by increasing school fees and such. As for development, we have the sandboxes of universities to provide students space for them to grow and develop their ideas. This project will stay feasible and realistic by doing so, and it will be able to give a new life and purpose, not just to food waste, but also to the homeless people.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Tomato. Now I would like to pass the time to the judges for 5 minutes.
So could you run me through the FIC thing again? Food industrial cement, right? So any process into how do you make that? Did you just pump food waste into cement? Is that how it works?
Okay, so this is like the central machine where.
The machine will turn the food waste into bricks for building houses and such. Yes.
Like, I don't think that. So it's just you just strain, evaporate, polarize, and then mold. That's it. You didn't add anything else to the cement.
So if we, there's like another way to make, so like we can add like plastic or like other chemicals into the bricks or like cement to make it better. But by the pressure and the temperature in this, if we like push it and increase the heat, it's gonna be, and mold it, it's gonna be, it comes out like a block.
It's still food, and food is organic. And organic material decompose over time. So if you build a house completely out of food, what is to stop worms, rats, rodents, anything else? A burglar with a sharp pencil from coming into your house and just eating its way through. This is like the three wolves, the three little pigs and the wolf. The wolf doesn't have to blow the house down, he just has to eat it. This is just food.
So first, about rotting and decaying. So in order for something to rot, we need like moisture. And the second step is we use like a dehydrator to suck out all the moisture in the...
I get that. What about rain? So now rain adds new moisture.
After we're done with that process, if we're gonna make into bricks or cement into like actual houses, there's like a chemical or something that we have to like add into to like prevent water from coming in.
So I've seen the cost of your product, but what is the revenue? How can I like, what money can I gain from this? Like, what is your pricing too, if you have a pricing, and how do you generate profit from that?
Since I stated at like the beginning that this machine can make multiple products out of this by adjusting the temperature and the pressure and the mold, we can make other stuff. Like examples, in hotels, we can use like make trays or like cups out of these. We don't just sell the product, we sell the story behind it and the art behind it also. We can gain money from that, and also it produces like bricks and cement. We can also sell that to gain money also.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much to the judges. Please give them another round of applause. Now, last but not least, another fruit. Oh my gosh. let me invite Mango Cooperation up to the stage, please.
Whoa, everybody, did we just like stumble into a model casting? Because all the judge looks amazing today. Okay. Okay, all jokes aside, we are Mango Corporation, brought to you by me, Pepper, Allison, and Ford. Today we're gonna present you guys an idea of school food waste managing app. So, introduction. Did you guys know that food waste is a huge, insanely huge problem, not in just RIS, but also in the schools all around the world. And the problem is no student is aware of it. Even if they are, they're in very large, small amount. This leads to unnecessary cost and bad environment. So, what does our app target? Our app target reducing over production, increasing awareness, and creating a smarter system for students and staff, not from having to jump from website to website, but an app on their phone.
So these are the unknown laws. So as you know, around 700 students through our middle school and high school are attending RAS. So average spending is around 70 baht, and per day, it's around 50,000 baht spent per day on food. So estimated food waste is around 20%, and that's around 10,000 wasted per day. So monthly loss for RAS is approximately around 200,000 baht per month. So our system will help reduce food waste and save costs. And we're focusing mainly on RAS for now.
So why are we coming up with this app? This app, the purpose is to provide a system for students to help reducing the food waste on their own to decline an overall food waste. And how are we going to encourage the students to participate? We're going to have rewards for them if they hit a certain goal for a food waste decline. And this app is very convenient to use for the students since it's linked with other systems like grading systems and lunch menus and other activities calendars if they have any programs coming up. Let's move on to the next slide.
Okay, so how our apps will work. It will be two main features. The first feature will be a food waste record to keep record of the food waste, and the reward for students. So at the end of the day, the staff will do something as simply as just grab the food waste, weight it, and put it in, tell the admin, and it will be updated that exact time, real-time feedback. And this app is not just for tracking food waste. It can be for grades, school calendar, next week food menu, and etc. This will also raise awareness and make the students check the app more regularly.
Okay, so we talked about how our app works. Now let's move on to the system. So as Pepper explained on last slide, our system tracks on how much food is wasted every day, right? But then we know that the worker of the school is around the mid 40s or 50s, so we don't want to burden them with technology. We made it simple, and we carry on to the professionals to do it for us. So how they deal with it is they put the weight, they measure the weight, right? And then I'm pretty sure ours already have that, and they update it to the admin, and the admin update real time into the app. So that's how it works. And children, how do we let them participate in this app? Well, we're not gonna do things for free, of course. So we need to reward them, motivate them to do something about it. So the system works by a certain amount of goal that we'll have to achieve on weekly. So if it hits the certain amount of goal that we already set it up, they will be given 15 baht coupon per week. So let's move on to the next slide.
Now let's talk about how are we going to manage our timeline. The first thing we have to consider is the approvement. We're going to have time for the approvement of the staff members and managers if this really worth doing it. And now after that, we're going to move on to our app development. This is going to include creating and programming
the codes, encoding the apps, and making sure it's ready to launch. We're gonna have time planned for about 70 days or 2 months and a little bit. Now, we're gonna launch it by the next school year. So we're gonna build the repetitions and improve the environments. Now, how are we gonna maintain it? As you heard, this system's gonna be updated by the mates about the food waste. Now, this is gonna improve the environment and school a better place.
Okay, moving forward, the use of fund. The use of funds will be separated into 3 categories. I forgot to put one up there, but I'll tell you. So firstly, the initial setup cost. The app development, the testing, data and all of that stuff will be 120,000 baht. This is the one-time cost only. After that, it will be the reward cost. So monthly, it will be around 42,000 baht. So each week will cost around 10,500 baht. And thirdly, which is the maintenance cost of the app from the first month onwards. So it will cost not over 10,000 baht, including the data and everything. So the first month will cost us 162,000 baht. Okay, now impact and conclusion. The overall impact the app will do to the school and our daily lives. So the food waste will be reduced by 15 to 30%, even 50%. That will save us around 100,000 baht per month. Can you guys imagine that? But I can't do math. So, Alson, can you explain it for me?
Hell no! I failed last math year and this year. I can see the look on Miss Reddy's face. She's really disappointed right now. Okay, but jokes
fine.
aside.
I'll give you Joe Wings.
Okay, fine. So, you guys know that the school lost around 200,000 baht per month, right? Now, what if I tell you you can reduce that by 15%, 13%, or 15, or even 50? Would you want that? That's 100,000 baht saved. So in 1 year, it's 1.2 mil. Me personally, I would take it. Let's go on to Pepper.
Okay, move back to the school finance. So the monthly cost, the reward cost will be 42,000 baht, and the waste reduced will be 100,000 baht. Subtract that, the net saving will be in total of 58,000 baht per month. Now, to the conclusion. First, we will reduce waste, save money, a simple system for staff and students to access, and finally, strengthen the school repetition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Mango Cooperation. Now, again, I would like to present the judges 5 minutes to ask the cream a few questions.
Hi. So first of all, you guys also look amazing as well. Thank you for the compliment to the honorable judges. Second of all, I would like to know how you guys make money. Is it through the loyalty point? Like, I want to know the process, how the users, let's say the students, right? If they get the loyalty point, what will they get? And what will you get in the return as well? So we can make some money.
For us, at this stage, it's just advertising, right? So we're doing this for the school right now. So it's a win for the school, win for the student, and win for us. Because the school is saving money. And then we are putting our names out there as just a beginner business. And the students get coupons, so I don't see how it's a lose for anybody. And that is where the name comes out for the school. The school can consider as eco-friendly, and then there on out, we will get more business coming in.
I like your passions for doing it for schools, but if you're asking money from investor, we want to make some money as well. So we are not charity. We need some money.
Well, you guys the investors can think of this as a prototype, as like a playing field first, because we need to test it, and the best way to test it is in this school, because we have all the resources available. So I think if we were able to expand this larger, we'll of course definitely make profit.
It just takes time.
Okay, it works. So one question from me is, how would the school reduce the expense that you were mentioned earlier, right? The school is reducing the expenses on the food the food waste, right? Because at the first place, the school already paid for the food expenses and stuff. But you're saying that by saving or reducing the food waste, also reducing the food expenses for the school, right? Am I understanding correctly?
So you can actually order the amount that you pay. So let's say you order 60 baht kaprao, right? Then you get the amount of 60 baht. But then we can tweak the modifications of that. So you can order a 20 baht kaprao, but you get lesser, but it's worth 20 baht. It's as much as you want to eat. So it's a win for them, it's a win for us too. Again, I don't see why not.
Okay.
Thank you to Mango Cooperation. Let's give another round of applause. Now, that concludes all the final presentations. Let us give a big round of applause to all our participants for their creativity and effort. At this time, we kindly request our judges to proceed for deliberation. But while the judges finalize the results, let's enjoy an intermission number. I have a surprise for you all. If you guys might not know, yesterday we had an amazing dancer come and speak for us. And that's Pipan, right? So can you guess what we're having? Okay, while we're waiting for the results to come out, I would like to ask a few questions to the judges regarding their experience today. Okay, then I'll first ask P. Plankton. สวัสดีค่ะ May I ask how your experience was?
I really like a lot of teams, and I really get to see a lot of up and coming potentially business students if they choose to, pursue the course of that studies. I also see a lot of the groups bring a lot of that Gen Z vibe, that youngster energy with B2B. At first, I thought it was Charlie XCX actually. Yeah. Charlie XCX, yeah. So yeah, it's really interesting to see what they're thinking and to see them develop and grow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to P. Plankton for his answers. Now I would like to ask P. Oop Im, how was your experience?
I think you guys had a very nice presentation. I think I'll say more of an advice for you guys. Your presentation is really good. However, the template for your slides is a little too less professional. If we were real investors, these type of presentation wouldn't work. Even in university, your professor will probably not judge your presentation. As well as I would like to see more relationship between the causation, solution, and impact. I think you guys put less emphasis on the impact, but as an investor, I think the impacts and
what we get from this is very important, as well as the impact to the environment. Yes. Thank you. You guys are really good. Yes.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to ask Pifu for your review regarding today's event as well.
So first of all, I'd like to thank you, RS faculty, staff, and teachers for inviting me to be part of the honorable judges. It was a pleasure and grateful for me for being here. And second of all, I think all of the group did wonderfully well. I really hope to see you guys in the next 10 years again. And if you guys are in this stage, if you guys are this good, I really think that in the next 10 years or 20 years, you guys could be potential entrepreneurs like Elon Musk or whoever you think is fit for you. And to be honest with you, when I was at your age, I wasn't this good, to be honest. And I know that you guys have a little time to prepare. So I think everybody did your best, and I'm proud of you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, may I ask the next person, Pimat, how was your experience today?
Okay, so today experience was quite fun and everything. I mean, based on the PowerPoint that the student had made is okay with their experience, but I want them to explore more and find more on their activities. And also, I would like to comment on same as Up on the PowerPoint. Because actually in the university and working places, I mean, it have to be much more aligned, and everything with all the front should be the same. And also the use of color sometimes on the PowerPoint, it's very hard to read and clear. Yeah, because if in the working place, it might be much worse than this if this PowerPoint happen.
So still catching my breath from from the dancing, but yeah. So very grateful to come back and revisit the school, and also such a pleasure and such an honor to be one of the judges here, and also we were the speakers from yesterday too. So one of the things that I want to say about this is very glad to see this hackathon and the business presentation and stuff, and also involving about the how business should be responsible to environment or the communities around the world. So that's I'm very glad to see all those things happening, also connecting to SDGs and whatsoever. But one of the things that I want to suggest the students here to involve more is putting more researches and references, and also given the citation, the correct citation also, because those references and researches actually reinforce the claims or the information that you are going to present to us. So if you have those researches, back your evidence, back your claims, it will sound more professional, and also sounds more interesting, and also engaging for us to the investor to be more sure to invest on your projects. Yes, that can be one of your insights. Yes.
Thank you so much to our alumni. And now, last but not least, I would like to ask one of our teachers here at this school about their experience today. Mr. Charles, how do you feel about today?
It was great, honestly. Well done to all you guys. Really, really well done. It was good seeing some familiar faces again. I can see those that I don't want to see, but yeah. Guys, as some of you know, I've only been a full-time teacher for going on 6 years or so. Before then, this was my life. My life was business. My life was scalability. My life was, are we going to be successful? Is it going to be a strategy that we can follow in the future? And the question shouldn't be seen as offensive. The question should be seen as, how do we open your mind to understand better? You do a fantastic job presenting. Your PowerPoints look amazing. You got these beautiful ideas, but you never have the end goal in mind. You are sitting in front of judges who are taking the roles of investors. investors' goal is to make money. If you cannot confidently articulate how we are going to make money, you cannot get any investor buy-in. That's unfortunately what it is. Stick with one thing that you do well. Do one thing well. The rest will follow. You cannot be everything to everyone. For the last, I think it was the last presentation, your entire premise is for the school to save money. It's a cost reduction. Focus on that. Position yourself as a cost reduction company. They make a lot of money. That's how we invest. We invest in your profits, not in saving. I don't care about the environment, let's be honest. Why should I? Whatever the cause is, I don't care. I care about making money. You guys understand? Don't try and do everything in one go. You will figure it out as time goes on. Get the money, get the investment, then do the rest from there. Overall, fantastic job. Start with the end in mind and build it from the back to the front. Well done, guys. Good job.
Thank you again to all of our judges. It was delightful to have you here today. Now, I think we are not done tallying up the results yet, but let me ask a few questions to you guys then, okay? Oh, we're done? Never mind, guys. It's done. Okay. Can I get a round of applause, please?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have all been waiting for has arrived. May I request everyone's attention as we announce the winner of the Business Week Hackathon 2025 and 2026. The third place goes to...
Drum roll, please.
Baby Shark.
May I request Mrs. Sudha to please come up and do the honor. Okay, are we ready for the second team? I can hear you. Now, the second place goes to, drum roll please, 50%. Congratulations. Now, may I request... Congratulations again to the second team. Now, the long-awaited results. Who do you guys think will get the first place? Any guess? Oh. Well, I'll be revealing the first place now. May I have drum roll, please? The first place is Lucky! May I also call the judges to come up and take a picture with the winners.
Congratulations to all the winners and a big round of applause to every team who participated. You are all winners for your effort and innovations. May I request Mrs. Suda to please give us the closing remarks.
Okay. Thank you for being so patient. This is for the audience. Yeah, it would have been better if the audience were quiet like this all the time, but it's okay. I'm happy that you were patient and you were listening. Every opportunity is an opportunity to learn. You learned so much from the judges, their advices, and as we close this, the first hackathon, the business department has organized. I want to thank the business department, chaired by Ms. Anindya Das, and Mr. Anand and Mr. Kevin is not here with us, but good, we are live. He's watching us all. Thank you, judges. I know you all are busy. It's a long day, but thank you for your patience. And we are really proud. Most of them, all of them, except for the teacher, they are our alumni. And we are so proud that you could come back and give back to the community. Thank you so much. And thank you, students, for being a great audience. Thank you and God bless.
We would like to forward our tokens of appreciation to our wonderful judges. May I first call up Mr. Charles? Yeah, I remember that. Plankton. Wait, Plankton? Plankton? Wait, Plankton. And then food, right? Next person I would like to invite is P. Plankton. Let's give him a round of applause. Now I would like to call P. Up Ib. Let's give another round of applause. Beautiful. Now I would like to call our judge, P. Fu. Let's give another round of applause. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Suda. as well as the wonderful judges who came today and P-Benz. So as we come to the end of today's hackathon final presentation, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to our wonderful judges for their time and expertise. Mrs. Mary, Mrs. Sudha, Mrs. Mark, and Mr. Sani for their time and presence here in the event. Our business advisors, Mrs. Das, Mr. Kevin, and Mr. Anand. And we would like to sincerely thank our high school teachers for staying with us and supporting this event, even as we went beyond our scheduled time. We truly appreciate it. And of course, business club representatives, Hiro, Gilbert, Yamro, Yebin, Rini, and Jenna, and grade 12 volunteers helping us to facilitate the hackathon project. And all participants for their enthusiasm and dedication. Thank you once again for being part of Business Week 2026. To conclude our program, may I request Yebin to say the closing prayer.
Please stand up for our closing prayer. Let us bow our heads and pray. Dear God, we thank you for guiding us throughout this day and for the success of this hackathon final presentation. Thank you for the knowledge, creativity, and teamwork that we have witnessed. We also thank you for our judges, teachers, and organizers. Bless them for their time, dedication, and support, especially for their patience and commitment in being with us throughout this event. May you keep us safe as we go our separate ways and continue to bless us all that we do. In your holy name we pray, amen.